From the 40s to the 70s, basically people at every income level, low, medium, and upper, their incomes rose equally, and about 200%. Everybody's income went up about 200% from the 40s to the 70s. But since the 70s, it's been quite different. In fact, the top 1% has gone up 200%, and those who are in the middle wage areas, income, has gone up 6%. 6% for the last 40, 50 years, almost 50 years. Essentially, most of America hasn't had a wage increase over that period of time. We're living cities, so we have a bias about cities, but our bias is because that's where a lot of stuff gets done. And we see this class of mayors and other government employees who are really bringing a new level of innovation, a new level of focusing on performance and results to their work. 80% or more of our population is in our cities and metros. So if we want to bring about the change, that's an important place to focus, especially when you have your innovative leaders willing to take risks and try new things. Transportation may be the most, it's certainly one of them, but it may be the most important way that we're going to address those disparities of income and wealth. It's critical that we end the tyranny of transit being about getting people from the suburbs to downtown, the 1960s model. We're tyrannized by that. We're tyrannized by people thinking transportation is all about transit getting us from the suburbs to the downtown. And in fact, it really needs to be about how do we make sure that people have access to opportunity. That's the key. And so the ultimate goal of transportation isn't really just to move us, it's to connect us to the things we actually know we need to be connected to jobs, to housing, to education, to the grocery store. So we really need to change that mindset. We have to think about how are we going to define success. Part of what I've seen in all the years that I've done this work is those of us who care a lot about this country, and especially that everyone can be involved in sharing prosperity, we get caught up with doing something that's good, but not something that could actually be measured. In transportation, there's very few results that are on the table for anyone doing anything other than let's build more of it and have it available. That's not a result, that's an instrument towards a result. We have to intentionally harness technology. Technology is already out there, and it's happening to us. We're not doing a whole lot well at managing it for the greater good. The second thing, though, is about broadband and ubiquitous Wi-Fi. Because if we really do believe that people being connected to opportunity is critical to the future income, wealth, and the like for low-income people, for all Americans, then we have to do much more than we're doing to be able to get there. I think it's fair to say I've never heard a transit person speak out for the importance of broadband as part of a transportation and connectivity strategy. There are new and emerging investment vehicles that will help people bring capital to the places that they care about to solve some of these problems. So couple months ago, the MacArthur Foundation and the Chicago Community Trust announced Benefit Chicago, which has a goal of bringing $100 million of private investors to solve public problems in Chicago. That you will see that movement growing dramatically over the next few years. And I think it's really interesting. I've heard Secretary Fox speak quite eloquently about how our transportation policies over the last 40, 50 years, like the way our highways separated, historical communities of color, how they accelerated housing segregation with the suburbs and the inner city, and how today we are uniquely able to use transportation to address these issues of inequality and try to attack these growing disparities of income and wealth across our country. The bottom line is that it's up to each of us to have the courage and the vision to make that future new urban practice reality.